Hi and welcome to another episode of Roettgen Braai Master. Today we're making Brasato al Vino Rosso con Gnocchi Di Polenta. This is also the 6th installment of great dishes from Europe. Now what you need for it and how to do it, I'm going to show you in this episode. Alright, and this is what we need for today. Now, because it is a bit of prep work and you have to actually marinate the meat a day prior, we're going to start today and we will finish cooking tomorrow. So without further ado, what do you need? You need a kg of stew beef, and this is a wonderful tri-tip. So I think this is going to be absolutely lovely. Then obviously you need some red wine, you need carrots, celery, onion, bay leaves, a cinnamon stick, you need some cloves, some juniper berries, peppercorns, thyme, some butter or butaris, olive oil, as well as salt. Now for the gnocchi di polenta, you need milk, water, corn flour, you need an egg, you need some flat parsley, some grated parmesan, salt, melted butter, as well as olive oil. Now, as usual, I'm going to put all the ingredients and the amounts in the description below, so don't worry if you didn't get all of this in the first try. Alright, we're going to start off with the meat. Obviously, I've washed it, I've patted it dry, and we're now going to season it with salt and pepper. And because, obviously it's going to sit in the red wine for quite a while, as an overnight in the fridge, you can go quite heavy on the salt and the pepper. Because it's also obviously a big piece of meat and it can really take quite a bit. Once you've seasoned it from all sides, we're going to put it in a bowl, rest it in there, and then we're going to take care of the vegetables. Now, what you want to do is obviously you wash them, as I've said in pretty much every single video. You take off the ends of the celery, and then you cut it in rough chunks. We're going to do the same thing with the carrots, so obviously you peel them, cut off the ends, and cut them in rough chunks. The onion as well. Alright, then we take all these chopped vegetables and just put them in with our beef. Spread them nicely. And then we also put in the cinnamon stick, a couple of twigs of the thyme, as well as these wonderful bay leaves. And then we're going to top this off with our red wine and make sure everything is nicely covered. If need be, we're going to add the second bottle to it. And then it goes overnight into the fridge to marinate. 24 hours later, and we're going to have a quick look. Wow, a lovely meat and red wine smell. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove our meat. Take off, all the veggies that are still stuck on it, but look at the color that this has gotten. Nice dark red. And we're going to put it in a bowl, and we're going to leave it there for about an hour, so that it has time to get back up to room temperature. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to separate the wine from the veggies. So very simple, you're just going to strain it. Because obviously we want the veggies as well as the wine later on in the Dutch oven again. Now very quickly we're going to take care of the rest of the ingredients. So what I like to do is I like to use a pestle and mortar and put the peppercorns, the cloves, as well as the juniper berries inside, and just give them a quick once over. And then I like to put them in this tea egg. It's just simpler and easier to take them out later on. They will still release all their flavors, but you don't have the problem that you might actually end up biting onto one. So that makes it really simple and easy. So invest in one of those. Then for the butter, we need a tablespoon and a half. And I just find it's easier if you already separate that prior. Make sure you have it all handy rather than walking around with the original packaging. Just makes it a bit more sanitary in my opinion. Then what I forgot yesterday to say is you need a few garlic cloves. Now I like to use maybe a little bit more than usual, so I like to use 3, but you can go as heavy or as light as you want on them. And as you've probably seen in previous videos of mine, it's very simple to peel them and chop them up. Now, because it's obviously a stew, you don't have to worry about cutting them too finely because they will just render down and cook down, so that's nice. Now that the meat is resting, we're going to take care of our gnocchi, and we start off with the flat leaf parsley. So we're just going to chop a whole bunch. And the next step, we're going to bring the water as well as the milk to a boil. When the milk is boiling, drizzle in the cornflour and then stir consistently for 5 minutes and set the setting to medium low. Alright, the polenta is now done, so what we're going to do is we're going to move it into a different container. We're going to add in the parsley, about half of the parmesan, as well as the egg. Give that a good mix, and then we add a little bit of salt to taste. But first we mix. The tomato sits at about 200 degrees. The Dutch oven is nice and hot. We're going to add the butaris into it. Let that melt quickly. And then we're going to put the meat in and give it a good roasting from all sides. The meat has gotten some great color, and we're now going to push in the deflector stones to create a totally indirect zone. And we're going to add the garlic. As well as the other vegetables. Add 2 more leaves, as well as our little tea. As I said, this little thing there. And then we're going to add the red wine that the meat rested in as well. And now we're going to close the lid for an hour, and we're going to check back again in 1 hour to see how the wine is doing. And now we're going to take care of our polenta gnocchis. So what I've done is I've put some olive oil onto the spoon, so you want them to have a little bit of fat. And then you're going to take out the polenta and you're trying to form those little gnocchi balls as you know it. Now my gnocchi, or the polenta, is rather chunky, so it is a bit tricky, but let's see how they come out. But I think that's quite alright. So we're going to put them on a baking paper with, on a baking tray with baking paper, and then we're going to set them to the side. Alright, all done. I'm actually quite happy with how they came out. Remember, we have this bit of parmesan still left over, so when we're ready to put this in the oven, we're just going to sprinkle it on top, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. First hour is up, and I've turned down the heat to roughly 150 degrees, and let's have a quick look on how we're doing. And yes, we have lost quite a bit of wine, so we're going to add some more. Gonna leave about half in the bottle, and we're gonna check back in an hour. Now the Brasato has been in for 2 hours 35 minutes, and it's time to take care of the Gnocchi Di Polenta. So first what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle them with a little bit more of the grated parmesan. And then we're going to take the melted butter and drizzle it across as well. And then we're going to stick it in the oven at 200 degrees for about 10 minutes, and then they should be done. 2 hours and 40 minutes later, we're there. Now, whilst the gnocchi are in the oven, let's have a quick look. And doesn't that look fantastic? Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take out the meat, we're going to strain the sauce, and then I'm going to show you the final plate. Alright guys, and there you have it, our Brasato al Vino Rosso with Gnocchi Di Polenta. And with it, obviously, we're going to drink the same wine that we cooked it with, the Dolcetto d'Alba, and it looks absolutely amazing, and we're going to dig in now. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video about the Brasato al Vino Rosso con Gnocchi Di Polenta. Now it was absolutely delicious. The wine really worked. It really seeped straight into the tri-tip. Yeah, so it was absolutely delicious. Also the gnocchi, obviously considerably larger than regular gnocchi. You know, gnocchi like are usually like this, maybe like a centimeter. These were obviously about the size of a tablespoon. But it was absolutely delicious. The parsley in them worked together with the parmesan, and then obviously the butter on top. It was absolutely delicious. So if you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate a comment and a thumbs up. And please head over to that subscribe button for more great videos to come. And I hope to see you soon again at Roettgen Braai Master.